What's going on, guys? It is U-Turn Crowbat here, and you are watching U-Turn Central. Now, before we get started, please make sure you go into the description. Make sure you click on the links for the Pokemon groups. Show Poketown U-Turn love. Now, before we get started, I just want to let you guys know what this team is all about. Now, I am bringing my mono team for my electric gym, and he is bringing his mono team. I'm not really sure what gym he has. Just recently I battled his ice team. So he could have an ice gym, or he could have an electric gym. I'm not sure, but let's go into the battle and see what this battle will hold for us. This is a pretty decent battle because of the fact that he did bring an electric team. So his electric team versus my electric team, you know, it's just gonna go out. We're gonna go all out. So he goes out and do his Galvantula. He was pretty smart to do that because I do the same thing. His Galvantula no Sticky Web. My Galvantula no Sticky Web. His is a shiny, mine's a shiny. You can't go wrong there. So, he ends up using the Sticky Web, and that poses a huge problem for me. But, I use my Sticky Web because, you know, I want him to get the same experience of me getting caught in the Sticky Web. So, I decide to use my own. So, I switch out into my Electivire because I don't want my, I do not want my Galvantula going down right now. Now, unfortunately, I do get caught in the Sticky Web, but there's really not much I can really do because all of my Pokemon are going to get caught in that. So, he ends up using the Bug Buzz on my Electivire, and he gets me to about half. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, I do not want my Electivire going down, but I still want to do some massive damage to his Pokemon. So, I end up using the Flamethrower, not predicting he was going to go into Electros. So, I switch out because I know my Electros can, pretty much take out my Electivire. So I switch out into my Lantern because I want to try and get the Confuse Ray off. Now he ends up using the knockoff and getting rid of my Destroy Scarf. And so he ends up using the knockoff again and just destroys my Lantern, just barely leaving me at 3 HP. So I end up using my Confuse Ray, which is what I wanted. Now, Emmanuel, you are pretty damn smart because you do not want to stay in with a confused Pokemon. So he switches out. He wants to get the hell out of there. So he ends up going into his Thundurus while I stay in, because I'm thinking, well, I don't stay in. What I meant was that I wanted to switch out, but I wanted to try and get another Confuse Ray off, but I didn't want to take the chance that he would, you know, switch. I don't know what I was thinking. It was kind of an off day for me. So, see right there, I switch out my Galvantula and I switch back out into my Ampharos. So it was kind of an off day for me, but I do switch out my Ampharos, even though it does get caught in the Sticky Web. I do lose my speed, which is awful, but this Thundurus decides to use the Volt Switch, and he gets the hell out of there. And I'm thinking I should probably Mega Evolve. I know my Mega Ampharos is part Dragon, and so I want to try and maybe get some major defense off. So I do Mega Evolve, because I'm thinking now that he has his Electros out, maybe I can do some more damage. Maybe. But knowing my luck, I can't. Now I do break the mold, but I am so slow. So he ends up using the U-turn, which just leaves me at less than half. Now, at this point, I need to take that Electros out. This Electros is posing too much of a threat for me. It's just becoming such a problem. So I end up using my Cotton Guard, only because I want to try and take some attacks that this Thundurus can throw out at me. And so he ends up using the Hidden Power, which is a Hidden Power Ice, I believe, because it just takes me out right there, leaving me at 1 HP. And so, at this rate, I have a Power Gem, and so I decide to use it. I'm not really sure why I didn't use it to begin with, even because it does take the Thundurus out. So I'm not sure why I didn't use it to begin with, but I use it now, which is all good. But I am living at 1 HP, which is bad. So, he ends up switching out into his Electros, and his Electros, he ends up using the U-turn and takes me out. Now, I'm kind of debating on how I need to take this thing out. I'm not really quite sure at this point. So he goes out into his Zapdos, and I know what the Zapdos is weak to. So I try and get his weaknesses, you know? So I go out into my Electivire, and I do get caught in the Sticky Web. Now, the problem for me is that even though I put out my Sticky Web, none of his Pokemon are getting caught in it, which is incredibly smart. Now, he ends up using the Signal Beam on my Electivire while I go up for my Ice Punch. And even though the Zapdos is weak to Ice, It does not do anything. Does not do anything. Look at that. It doesn't do anything. Now, that's awesome because, I mean, it's awesome for him. I mean, I'm thinking maybe at some point I should probably get a Zapdos that's as bulky as that one. That's as bulky as that one because, I'm kind of reminiscing on back of Gen 1 and everything, and looking now at what Zapdos looks like in 3D is freaking awesome. So I'm thinking I should probably get myself one at some point. So he ends up using the Signal Beam on my Galvantula, and just barely makes me live at 65 HP, but he does outspeed and uses an Overheat on my Galvantula, taking it out, kicking it to the side. And so there's really not much I can really do, because I am losing pokes one by one, it seems like. And the Zapdos does have lefties, but his recovery, his attack is pretty decent. So I go on to my Dedenne because I want to try and, I need to try and take the Zapdos out before my whole team goes down to it. So he ends up switching out, and I did not predict that. So he goes out into his Magnezone, and I did try going for my Grass Knot, I do believe, and he just float in the air with, the air balloon. And even though I did try going for my Retaliate, if I had gone for a Grass Knot, it wouldn't have done much. And my Retaliate, as you can see, didn't do much at all. So I end up going out into my Lantern, so I want to try and get another Confuse Ray off. Now, I do lose my speed because of the Sticky Web, and the Magnezone is able to take me out with a Flash Cannon, just barely leaving me at 8 HP. Now, he ends up switching out, and he goes out into his Electros, probably looking for another U-turn. Now, I'm thinking I need to try and confuse him somehow. So I end up using the Confuse Ray again, and luckily I do outspeed and I hit it off. So at this rate, I'm thinking, is he going to stay in and try and go for a U-turn, or is he going to switch out? But the thing is, he does stay in, and he does go for a U-turn, unfortunately, taking my Lantern out. Now I was kind of surprised that he kind of stayed in, because he kept switching out, kept switching out. So I was kind of surprised that he did that. But it worked out for him, so I end up going out, he goes out into his Electivire while I go out into my Dedenne. I kind of forgot who it was at first. I had a brain fart there, sorry guys. But I go into my Dedenne, losing my speed from the Sticky Web while he loses his speed from the Sticky Web. Now he ends up using the Cross Up my Dedenne. Now the thing is, I am part Fairy, which means I resist fighting, which is freaking awesome. Now I use my Retaliate. I'm not quite sure why I did that. It does not do a thing to the Electivire. Now the reason why I'm leaving my Dedenne out is only because I want to try and do some damage to some of his Pokemon. So I end up using the Grass Knot. It does not do anything to the Electros. It would have done a little bit more, just a little bit more to the Electivire, but he ended up switching out. So I switch out and I go into my Magnezone because, I don't want my Dedenne going down right then and there. So he ends up using the Drain Punch. I rarely see Electroses using Drain Punch, but that's a perfect move to have on it. As you can see, it took my Magnezone out just right then, one hit. So he ends up getting all that HP back. Which is very, very, very unfortunate for me. So I end up going out into my Dedenne, because at this rate, why the hell not? All my Pokemon are going down one by one. So there's really not a lot I can really do to the Electros. But he ends up switching out, which kind of surprised me, because his Electros can just take my Dedenne out if he really wanted to. So he ends up going out into his own Magnezone, and his Magnezone does lose speed from the Sticky Web. Now, I use my Retaliate thinking it would do more, but I need to stop using that because, as you can see, it does not do anything to Steel types anyways. It hasn't really done anything for me, so I need to get rid of that. Now, I end up going into my Electivire, losing my speed from the Sticky Web. I'm thinking I hope I can outspeed, but I don't. He ends up using the Volt Switch, but that just activates my Motor Drive, thank God, so my speed does go up, and I am able to hit my Earthquake. Now, I am so glad that I was able to pop his air balloon, because I was able to hit that EQ. Now, my speed has risen, so I'm hoping I can outspeed some of his other Pokemon and just take them out. Now, I end up using the Ice Punch on the Electros. Now, it does not do too much at all, unfortunately, and he ends up using the U-turn and just getting the hell out of there. I mean, I would too, but he ends up destroying my Electivire, which is rather unfortunate because my Motor Drive did activate and my speed did rise. But that does not mean my defense rose. But like, that'd be pretty sweet if it did. But he ends up going out into his Galvantula, and his Galvantula does get caught in the Sticky Web. And so I'm gonna go out into my Dedenne because I want to try and get a play rough or something off, or even try another Retaliate, because at this point I just want to test everything. So he ends up using the Energy Ball on my Dedenne and leaving me at 63 HP, and it was a crit as well, so I was kind of happy I was able to take that. So I end up using the play rough, and it does not do a thing to the Galvantula. Now, as Galvantula does end up using the Energy Ball again, leaving me at 26 HP while I go for another play rough. Don't ask me why I keep going for these, but I was thinking maybe I can get a crit. Maybe that'll come in handy. Maybe it'll just help me out if I end up getting a crit, but I don't. And he ends up going out into his Electivire, getting caught in the Sticky Web. Now, at this rate, I do outspeed, but there's really not a whole lot I can really do, because I tried using my play rough, and as you can see, it does not do a thing. Now, he ends up using the Earthquake and taking my Dedenne out, and that was a good game. It really was a good game, because there was a lot that I need to work on with this team, and since this has recorded, since I'm recording this right now, I have switched some stuff up on my team. I have switched my Dedenne. I know a lot of you will say, don't use a Dedenne, just get it out, get it off your team. Do not use that Dedenne. Now, the thing is, it's so cute. It's so cute. I just want to hold it in my hand. I just want to hold it in my hand and just caress the top of its head and watch it purr, even though it's a rat and it doesn't purr like a cat. But anyway, so, Dedenne has always been one of my favorite Pokemon, so that is why he is going to stay on my electric team. Now, Emmanuel, thank you for, switching my Dedenne, thank you. Because that Retaliate was not doing a thing to me, so I'm glad I got rid of that Dedenne, and I'm glad I put the one you gave me on my team now. I still have yet to test them. Maybe we can try, battling again with this different Dedenne, but I hope all of you enjoyed the battle. Emmanuel, I hope you enjoy battling me, and I hope you guys go into the description, make sure you click on the link for Poketime, make sure you show them some U-turn love, make sure you RCS to me, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Peace.